Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hope you're doing well. I'm probably sure you only watched 2 minutes of the video. Leave a snarky comment and won't think about what I'm saying to you, but I'm going to make the video 20 minutes probably anyways. So if you have endurance to get through the end and not clip it out of context and argue ad hominems, then I hope you can give me and everyone else a more reasonable response. Just because Andrew Tate supposedly converted to Islam does not make him a Jesus figure. You are going way too fast in praising him, promoting him, and expecting the world from him when he has to divest from his lifestyle. And you're saying he can inspire people to check into Islam. Why don't you praise like a poor kid in Africa who is studying, someone in Kenya, or a sister who has 5 kids and she teaches them tajweed, or somebody who helps build masjids or volunteers at the masjid, or an ulema or an alim, somebody who actually puts in a lot of work will inspire people to Islam. But Andrew Tate is a very controversial and hated figure who I have watched probably 15 different podcasts, and I have listened to even the 4-hour one he did. I'm very familiar with who he is, his stances, and I've taken the due diligence to see what him and his brother are all about. And you should not count your chickens before the eggs hatch. You don't know how he'll represent Islam. And he already started attacking Christians and insulting Christians, causing more problems, okay? Something that we don't really need right now, especially in America where we're uniting to end child mutilation, where we're trying to reform our public schools, where we need unity among religious conservatives to get back against the secular or atheists, okay? Andrew Tate lives a life of hypocrisy. He was saying, I'm an Orthodox Christian, while living a lifestyle that is completely antithetical to the principles of Christianity. And the Orthodox Christian men called him out for it, and one of their leaders, he got banned from Instagram because he started making a meme about how gay you are on the Andrew Tate scale as a source of measurement. And then Andrew Tate went on Gab and bragged about how he got that person banned. Alright? So, if the Christians could see how fake Andrew Tate was when he was an Orthodox Christian, living a heavily sinful life and breaking all the rules, okay? Why is it now that the Muslim men are so, the red pill ones specifically, are just desperate, fanboying, as if he's the second coming of Jesus Christ, and he's gonna help Muslims become stronger, and comparing him to the Sahaba? It's like you are putting way so much showering praise on an individual who has proved nothing yet. And I'm going to go on Getter, and maybe I'll join Gab, to show you the evidences of him breaking the rules every day. Because it's a shame that these red pill Muslims will target Muslim sisters. I have felt their wrath, and they just scrutinize women for anything. Oh, her eyebrows this. Oh, her hijab is this. Is the color that. Blah, blah, blah. And it's an insane how harsh and cruel the red pill Muslims are on sisters. And then they're going to turn over and bend over backwards to make every single excuse they can for why Tate needs more time to change his life. Before I even converted to Islam, I had people attacking me, telling me, you need to wear a hijab when you read the Quran. Then people said, oh, you had to delete all the videos where you're not covered. Oh, you have to not study this or not study that. I have had the most horrible experience in the Muslim community with justified and unjustified criticism. Being held to impossible standards. A nightmare. One of the most unhealthy communities I've ever joined. And so, it is amazing how I don't have a track record like Andrew Tate, but the way men come after women is intense in the Muslim community, at least amongst those red pillars. And now, your little saint, your little guru, Andrew Tate, has supposedly converted. I doubt he'll divest himself from all his haram investments and income. Somebody letting go of that amount of money is monumental. Rather, he might just hide it more. Him free mixing with half-naked women on yachts, smoking cigarettes and popping bottles of champagne. All the stuff he's gonna do, we'll see who's the actual hypocrites. Me being skeptical, having discernment, okay, not fanboying, fangirling over him as if he's some messiah, alright? That's called wisdom and skepticism. Because he's done nothing yet, alright? It's interesting that he's known and disliked for how he talks about women. And don't give me this, oh, he said 5 things good and he has this. The guy literally had cam girls. He would talk sexually with men, get them to spend more of their money, middle-class men who had wives, who had a wife and had children, and milked them for money and said he didn't feel sorry for them. I don't believe, you guys are insane. That's why you can't trust the Muslim community very much. They're just like, oh, forget this long rap sheet of degenerate things, and he's magically a new person. Yeah, he got forgiven for those sins, but today he's still sinning, and he'll continue to do so. We all sin, but don't just think it's a magical transformation. I remember when I put on the niqab, people insulted me, called me a witch. Oh, horrible insults. Horrible. I mean, even when I defended a Christian scholar, St. Thomas Aquinas, for his intellectualism, people called me a secret Christian. The insults went out of this world. But all of a sudden, Andrew Tate deserves all this love and affection. So what I'm upset with is who the Muslim community gives their love and respect to. They gives it to celebrities. It's really quite insane. And I'll give you another example. People are super hard on Mufti Menk, right? For a couple things he did. And then turn around and are defending Andrew Tate, saying you shouldn't care about his past. So they wouldn't forgive Mufti Menk for a couple of things about quacking for women and that some undercover leaked info about gay people or whatever from a journalist from Denmark or something. Very minimal things. And the knitting video, oh, that's the end of the world. Can't forgive him. Oh, he's a hypocrite. But oh, the long rap sheet of degeneracy and haram things that Andrew Tate did and still does doesn't matter, and we gotta just get on our knees and worship him as if Islam is so elevated now because a celebrity kickboxer came. Before you just start showering praises on somebody, wait for them to actually start upon it. But I'm going to see, and I'm going to make it a personal vendetta. Because the way I see some of you red pill Muslim men attack women viciously, horrifically, I want to see if you do the same to Tate. Alright? And also there's the way sometimes some certain Muslim brothers, they will have certain internet beefs, understandably and not. But let's see if you hold Tate to the same standard. Or you'll bend the rules and bend the knee because he's famous and somehow he gives you this pride. Don't take pride in Andrew Tate. Take pride in your scholars. Take pride in the people who are poor and who are keeping their faith. Take pride in the people who don't get the spotlight, who deserve it. Wait. Because he's a marketing guy. He knows how to create controversy. Anybody who's watched his interviews knows this. Okay, he courts attention at all costs, those laws of power. He's doing bid'ah already. So, whatever he does, now the Muslims will be a bigger audience to him. Someone who can also be controlled opposition. Somebody who is going to be a gatekeeper for young men, get them into high interest banking, teaching them how to hustle, tempting them with loose women, and all the other things, you better be careful. Alright? You better be careful. Because you're showering him with praise, and then you'll turn around and scorn everyone who's skeptical. So you're already turning on people who are better Muslims to have favor for a celebrity. Do you not see the lunacy in that? Do you not see the lunacy in defending a brand new supposed Muslim who hasn't done anything to change his life yet, and just says a couple hadiths and his getter posts, and you're like, oh, but what has he really done? And then you're going to turn on every woman who is skeptical. It's funny that the women are being smarter than the men right now. I find that to be hilarious. And the red pill people say, Nisa can't think. Nisa are emotional. Nisa means women. Constantly degrading women, insulting them. Because red pill and feminism are the same thing, basically. War of the genders. And now, this highly controversial figure, who maybe says 5% motivational things, has come into Islam, and now everyone's going to look to him like he's this new sheikh. He's the new icon. And then all the better Muslims who deserve our reverence will be cast to the wayside and be in the shadow of Mr. Daddy Tate. I find that sick and repulsive. Because we're trying to show people that Islam is not this oppressive religion towards women, that there's wonderful things about it, and then Andrew Tate's going to go about breaking all the rules, causing Muslims to have infighting, like he already has, going after Christians, creating more tension between the Christian and Muslim community at a time when we need unity, and then going after women, causing non-Muslim women to be like, oh, what a Muslim pig, they're going to say, and then making Muslim women also feel uncomfortable because he won't give proper dawah. So you're not looking at any of the negatives. You're just romanticizing him, looking through rose-colored glasses, and mocking every woman who's showing more wisdom than some of you red pill men. He was a horrible Orthodox Christian. What makes you think that he's going to be some, Khalid bin al-Walid figure? And how dare you compare that guy to people who proved themselves? He's proved nothing. And so, when I go about posting the raw pictures, don't tell me, censor the women, censor the women. Why? He did it. He's a Muslim. Why don't you go tell him to censor it? Alright? So we'll see. We'll see who's the real hypocrite. We'll see when I go on every week. I'm going to go on his page on Getter. His interviews with, women with their tits out, ass out. Yeah, we'll see. And then, when more young Muslim men are watching him and imitating him, we'll see who's the real fitna. Because you lot say, a man can't have a podcast with a woman, even if she's covered. It causes fitna. A woman's voice is fitna. Everything is a fitna. Meanwhile, you're going to say that Tate isn't. That he's an asset. Come on, man. And I am resentful. I have been put through the ringer with the Islamic community. And that famous saying, I'm glad I knew Islam before I knew Muslims, is so true. Because the hypocrisy, the illogical mode of who you endorse and who you don't, and what you decide to complain about and what you don't, it's almost maddening, and it makes me feel disillusioned from the community. Because it's like you guys are like on your knees begging Jordan Peterson to convert. And now all of a sudden your life feels so complete because a Romanian pimp who is a casino owner and who had cam girls he did that business for 10 years. Alright? And he could probably still have it, who knows, but he'll definitely keep that part quiet now. But so many people have showed his materialism, his nepotism, his vanity, his pomposity, his arrogance. So many. But no, you're just pushing all that to the wayside to just, oh, Daddy Tate, Daddy Tate. Oh, all these women are cope harder, cope harder. You're not showing reason. You're being groupies. Shame on you. The people who are taking caution and saying, We'll see. That is smarter. And I noticed before, so many people were covering Tate because it gets views. And if you go back on my videos, I've made like a couple on Tate. I gave very balanced, fair videos and perspectives. So you can't accuse me of just being a hater, because I said he shouldn't be banned. And I added nuance to the scene where he was beating a woman with a belt. I have had fair and balanced perspectives, and if you haven't seen those uploads, just go on the home screen, scan down until you find it. If you don't find it, it'll be on the Vlog playlist. So don't accuse me of something when I've given him a fake shake. A fair shake, that is. And I've heard his perspective. I've listened to him on James Altucher, everywhere he's gone. Literally everywhere. Because I don't criticize people before I get to see who they are. Just like I don't talk about a book I haven't read, a scholar I haven't read. I do my homework, unlike most of you who have 2-minute, 3-minute, 4-minute attention spans. I do my due diligence. And I did with him. And when I think he's a piece of garbage, I'm going to stand by that. I'm not going to flip-flop and forget everything I think about him simply because he became a Muslim. Okay, he's got a lot of change to do, and we'll see. But I remember how hard you people all were on me before I was a Muslim, when I became a Muslim, and how hard you are now. So I'm going to take that same heat and put it onto Tate. And if you say, oh, why are you doing that? Well, you do it to me. So why can't I do it to your icon? Why not? You do it to the women, you red pill Muslims, so why can't I do it to your red pill icon? Why not? Be careful, man. I'll be expecting a lot of I told you so's pretty soon. So he's been a Muslim for who knows how long now. So we'll see. And he's a billionaire, supposedly a millionaire. So he has access to some of the high top people to give him dawah. He can afford to pay private lessons. He can afford the best books, the best education. Let's see if he goes about using his money for the religion of Islam and for learning about Islam. Because he cannot make an excuse, oh, I didn't have access, nobody taught me. No. You're a famous millionaire. Let's see. Will he continue the same way? And then weeks go by, nothing's changed except the fact that he said the Shahada in a mosque, supposedly. We'll see. And then, if he keeps a month from now doing haram, second, third, fourth, yeah, don't complain to me. You will owe all the sisters an apology who were skeptical. Because you jumped on his pole like a bottom twink. Like locusts on corn. You swarmed to him, promoted him, got him more famous, and helped him to avoid his bannings. He knows marketing. He knows how to hustle. He literally has Hustlers University. When you're dealing with someone who is a businessman and a hustler who needs attention and who got banned, you'll be able to know, okay, alright, this person is not about what we think they're about. And watch him still go on fresh and fit. And then Muslim men will make excuses. He has to go with these ladies with their boobs out talking derogatory and vulgar. He has to do it. Meanwhile, you'll turn around and say women can't have podcasts talking about Islam with men. The hypocrisy, the bending of the rules that you lot will do will show who is the real hypocrite. The same people cheering him on now will be very quiet when it comes to holding his feet to the fire like they do to everyone else. The scrutiny I see student of knowledge go under is pretty harsh. And if you don't hold him to the same standard, you're the hypocrite, not everyone who's being cautious and skeptical. So, I don't know if he's sincere. I think he's controlled opposition. I think he's a plant. I think he's someone who's going to subvert the youth. Somebody who is going to be the Joe Rogan type figure. Joe Rogan is controlled, and he has his purpose. And I think Andrew Tate is controlled. So we'll see. But before you get quick to defend Daddy Tate against your fellow Muslims who've been Muslims longer and who do more for Islam, Think about whose side are you on. Are you on the side of truth, or you just want to be his fan base? Because if you really actually cared about Islam, you'd put Islam first before a celebrity. And if he wasn't a celebrity, you'd probably be more skeptical. Somebody being a criminal for many years and then converting to Islam, you don't just forget about all their past, what they did. Because they can do that. They're still capable of that. If someone is a serial rapist and then they convert to Islam, you don't let that rapist around your women and your family because he could go back to raping. You understand? You have to be smart. You have to be cautious. You have to be careful. Don't be naive. Don't be a blind follower. Have skepticism. Use reason. Show discernment. Stop fanboying over this guy. It's like a cult. You guys are like a cult. It's shameful. It's embarrassing. And hate me all you want for it. I don't care if you unsub. I'm used to being attacked by you lot. But hopefully when people like keep exposing Andrew Tate for being a hypocrite and fake Muslim, I hope that you do the same to him as you'll do to me and other people who will not jump on the bandwagon of worshiping a celebrity.